morning, everyone, and welcome to Hoboken Talks, brought to you by the Hoboken Historical Museum. We are broadcasting live from the museum located at 1301 Hudson Street. You can check out this program live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. That's Hoboken Talks. My name is Jerry Fallow, and I'll be your host tonight. You know, after I was interviewed on Hoboken Talks a few months ago, the director of the museum, Bob Foster, asked if I would like to interview someone and asked me for some suggestions. My first response was, Gene Turonis, has he ever been on the show? Gene the plumber, right? Turonis. When Bob looked it up and realized he hadn't, well, I had to jump at the chance. Now, I've never done this before, and this is not rehearsed, so it's definitely going to be spontaneous and a lot of fun. So now you know, most of you probably know, Gene is a musician, he's a singer-songwriter, a plumber, and a true Hoboken legend. So now, without further ado, please help me. It's my pleasure to be welcoming to Hoboken Talks the one and only Gene the plumber. Let's hear it, everybody.
That's sweet. Very sweet of you to say that.
How are you doing, Gene?
Pretty good.
Good. I want to let people know before we start that they can post questions or comments.
No.
Yes,
Oh,
to
okay.
you.
Okay.
They can do this during the show, and we will read them aloud.
Okay.
And we'd love to hear from you. Please post. We look forward to that type of interaction with you. We look forward to hearing from you. So
Okay.
anyway, I see that you brought your guitar.
Yes, I did.
So I'm so excited about that. I assume you're going to be singing us some tunes. The audience is in for a real treat tonight. So let's get started, Gene. So let's take a look at some of the pictures that you brought us.
Okay.
I like actually the one that's behind us, but let's start from the beginning.
That's my Uncle Ed. He was the black sheep of the family. My mom, he used to arrive every few months. He would be drunk and broke, and my mother would let him sleep on the couch and let him stay for a couple of days till he sobered up, and then send him back to his job and all that, if he didn't lose it.
And I'm assuming
that's me.
That's
me.
you.
In 1900, he got married Christmas, 1900, I think.
Oh, really?
And his wife
Wow.
used to save all the good stuff for her brother and not give him any, so they broke up. Anyhow, that was Uncle Ed.
Oh, that was Uncle Ed.
And 323
Now,
Hickory Street, Kearney.
He is your dad's brother?
My mother's.
Oh, he was your brother's.
My mother's uncle.
Oh, he was your mother's uncle. Okay.
Not a monkey's uncle, my mother's
Not a
uncle.
monkey's uncle. Okay, I think we have some more pictures of. Oh, look, Ed Fogarty.
Oh, hey, hello there, Ed.
Hi, hello,
Thanks
Gene
for
and Jerry.
tuning in. You got the next pic there?
Oh, look, it's.
Oh yeah, Jim Hands assembled this from he did a magazine, called Time Machine magazine, and he did assemble this. These are pictures from my childhood.
Oh, this is great.
There's Bill Kadish and I with a confirmation stick-up
Confirmation
in front of the
stick-up.
fireplace in my house. And me and Tom Padavano were playing like badasses there.
Right, but look at you posing as a baby there. That is so awesome. You're looking like real tough there, Gene.
That's my mom out in the middle up there.
Oh, and Bill Kadish he's your cousin.
Yeah, that's Bill Kadish there.
Wow.
On two pictures on the left. The two upper pictures on the left.
I see that.
Mm-hmm.
And look at you, boy, in that little suit.
That was
And
323 Hickory Street. That was the front there.
And this is all in Kearney.
In Kearney, yeah.
The little
I call
guy
it
with
corny,
big
but
corny.
you're corny,
You like
yeah.
corny. The little guy with big ideas. And what's with the werewolves? This young werewolf.
The Werewolf. Oh, that's Michael Hurley's song. That's a wonderful song. Michael Hurley is very odd and very wonderful.
And that's a song that he wrote.
That he wrote, yeah.
Right,
And
right.
that's how Jim got that, because I do the werewolf song.
Oh, you would play that song?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, okay, okay. I love this. I love that. Nice scrapbook. Now,
the Insect Trust.
yes, so this, I guess, we're coming to, what brought you to Hoboken?
The first time I came to Hoboken,
That's
I came
a-
to visit the apartment of Bill Barth and Nancy Jeffries, the woman in the front and the far right guitar player. And in the middle, in the back, is Luke Faust.
Right.
Next to Luke, to my left, is Trevor Kohler, who ended his own life. He just had demons he couldn't settle. Next is Bob Palmer, the writer for the New York Times. I don't know who the person on the far left is. In the front is Warren Gardner, the one and only Warren Gardner. He's deceased also. Oh. And Nancy is a retired A&R person from RCA, I think. So she was one of the few people who turned this into a successful professional career. Not playing, but she was a singer, quite a good singer.
She still stayed in the music business.
In the music business, yeah. Bill Barth is dead.
Oh. But so now...
I hope Luke Faust is watching.
Oh, I hope so. Did you tell him?
Yeah, I sent him a message today. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. But so from my understanding, when you first came to Hoboken, your friend John Parrott...
John Parrott, deceased. John Parrott brought me here one afternoon.
Yeah.
And down on 2nd Street, before they were torn down, there was rows of 5-story, double-sided tenements, railroad tenements. And we went up to their apartment, and the name of the group is Insect Trust. Now, it sounds ridiculous, but...
do you know where that came from?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
But there were so many roaches in that apartment, I was flabbergasted. And I was a professional telephone remover for a year or two before that. So I saw infestations. I saw first-rate infestations. They all paled compared to this.
Really?
There were so many roaches in this.
God.
The Insect Trust and the roaches.
And it was in one of their apartments.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Wow. Well,
Interesting story.
That was Hoboken
Warren
in the
Gardner,
70s?
great inspiration to a lot of people. Also a very troubled person. And he's gone now.
Well,
Very inspirational, as well as
And
Luke.
so you went and you lived...
Oh, then I came to Hoboken the first time to visit the apartment of the Insect Trust with John Parrott, and then I went over to Luke Faust's house at 125 Willow, and I decided that I was going to move to Hoboken, so I went into his building on the first floor. He was paying $40 a month. I was paying $100 a month, and I was getting screwed. Let me tell you. I was really getting screwed because I'd need an umbrella sitting on the toilet because the toilet upstairs leaked. And there was only heat in one room in the kitchen. The kitchen stove was a heatilator kind of thing. And so I put a fan. I did my first plumbing job, heating job.
Oh, was that your first heating job?
I cut a hole and put a fan and took the heat from the kitchen and blew it into the bathroom so the pipes wouldn't freeze. And so my self wouldn't freeze,
Right, while you're sitting on the throne.
Right, holding the umbrella.
Holding the umbrella.
I had a potbelly stove in the front. Dangerous. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Dangerous. I had a small potbelly stove I used. And
it
went into the antique chimney. The chimney was corroded and falling down, but it still went into it, and everybody lived.
Everybody survived. What did you put in the potbelly stove?
Oh, no, whatever. Wood. I didn't have coal, so it had to be wood. Yeah.
Okay, had to be wood.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds a little dangerous. This was like 1971.
Luke lived on the top floor.
He lived on the top floor.
And he was, I would say he was my first inspiration for playing. And
yes.
He really has a sound, country sound.
Right.
Has it?
And you wound up playing with him a few times.
Yeah, we had several
often,
gigs before.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you had been telling me the other day, I guess something about the cars had...
This was 1971. I moved to Hoboken.
Right.
And First Street smelled like sewage. I mean it. It really smelled like sewage. It was a cop town. The mayor was a cop. City council was cops. School board was cops. Wow. I mean, it was a cop town.
Everybody was a cop.
Everybody, they were there all day not doing anything. So, hey, why not take some of the cake? You know what I mean? But I'm sure it's not that way anymore. But it was definitely that way in 1971.
Wow.
And
what would happen?
People thought the doorbell was on the wheel of their car, the steering wheel, because people would pull up to the house, this was a common. I mean, I got woken up how many times by someone coming across the street,
Right.
trying
So
to pick up
somebody
somebody.
was- if
In the
somebody
morning, they're
was
picking up
coming-
someone to go to work. And they would beep the horn in front of the house.
Right,
That was really
right.
something
So if
else.
somebody came, you were expecting someone, they didn't come out of the car to ring your doorbell, they just hit the horn on the car.
Well, I know my friends didn't necessarily do that, but that was a common thing,
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and, one time I didn't see this, but I only heard about it.
This is-
Up in Luke Faust's apartment.
Right.
Early Sunday morning. I'm sure it was a hungover Sunday morning, because we used to drink a lot. They were on the fifth. He was on the fifth floor, and somebody was on the street blowing the horn, trying to get someone's attention early Sunday morning.
Oh.
So Paul Slavin pulled a brick out of the decaying fireplace, and went over, opened the window, and threw it down, and hit the car on the roof. Hit the car on the roof, and the car peeled away, and that was the end of that, as far as I know.
I bet they never came on your block again and hit those horns.
I don't know. I have no idea, but that was an interesting story.
And, I almost think this could be a moment to play a song.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
all right.
There's a song actually that I had in mind, but
What
you
was it?
may have a different one. But you go ahead.
If you want someone to walk around the block, you take my hand. If you want someone to drive to the Dairy Queen, I'm your man. But if you think I'm gonna buy a house and fill it up with kids, well, honey, I think you flipped your lids. You get laid up, I'll be there when you get sick. I'll be right by your side, lickety split. But if you think I'm gonna spend 12 years listen to a French poodle yelp, woof, well, honey, I think you need some help. Although it sure looks pretty, I ain't gonna cut that grass. Far as painting the ceiling in the kids' room, you know I'm going to let that pass. And if you think I'm gonna buy a house, 20 years on whips, ands, or buts, well, honey, I think you must be nuts. Yo diddly yo do do diddly do diddly do. Yo diddly yo do diddly do diddly diddly yo diddly yo do diddle yo do diddly do diddly do. Yo diddly do. You get laid up, I'll be there when you get sick. I'll be right by your side, lickety split. But if you think I'm gonna spend 12 years listening to a French poodle yell, oh well, honey, I think you need some help. Although it sure looks pretty, I ain't gonna cut that grass. Far as painting the ceiling in the kids' room, you know I'm gonna let that pass. And if you think I'm gonna buy a house, 20 years on whips, ands, or buts, well, honey, I think you must be nuts. Well, honey, I think you must be nuts. That's an early song.
I was going to say, when did you write that one?
Working at
remember.
working at my sister's house. Luke was my painting buddy. I was a painter at the time.
Right. So one of the things that you had also said, I guess, that people were playing conga drums all over town.
Oh yeah, on the weekends, sure.
Is that
The
right?
horns, the loud horns, and the
The
congas.
congas. Wow.
And
So it was a musical town.
there was lots of live music. There were
Yes.
many places
To play.
It was lots of places to play. The bars wanted music, and I can remember right across the street from the Brass Rail. There was a bar there and Bob Palmer sat in with the country band. I remember going in there. Listen, he plays clarinet.
Right.
But we played a lot at the Brass Rail.
You played at the Brass Rail.
Oh, over time.
Right.
And
right.
and then what's the name?
You also played-
Court Street.
Right. You played the Grand Hotel.
Oh yeah, before that, yeah, in the earlier 70s, we played the Grand Hotel. We have a
There we go.
Lonesome Cowboys. Annie
So,
Freeman.
yeah, tell us, what was
Annie Freeman
this?
lives in Nashville right now. Luke Wallen lives in Rhode Island. I think
Rhode
he lives
Island?
in Rhode Island right now. He's retired.
And you
He's
played
a
with
writer,
them like
and
as
he's
a
been
trio?
painting lately.
Oh, he's been painting.
Oh no, we all had separate acts. It was 3 different acts.
It was 3 different acts.
Yeah.
Okay. And then like there's another list there of like Benny
Perry.
Burke. Well, Ray Bryn.
Oh, Ray Bryn played. Yes, Betty Birkin sang.
John Parrott. So all of these
Paul
people.
Clancy. I don't know who
did
that
all
is.
these people play the same night?
Tom Newman. Yes, yeah, we had.
And Tom Newman played.
Tom Newman. Judith.
And is that his
Hilson,
brother, Philip
John
Newman?
Parrott, and
Did Tom have a brother named Philip?
Tom has a son named Philip.
Well, all right. I would think
And
back then.
Sound and Lighting. Oh, by Pierre. Okay.
Yes, now
That's
that
not
has
Perry.
to be
That's
that
Pierre
has
Mineri.
to be Pierre
Pierre
Mineri,
Mineri,
right?
yeah.
Who I worked with at City Hall,
Yeah, right.
right? He was the head of parks, so that must have been his Dirty Side Productions. But that's
that
great.
That's the CB talk. The East Coast is Dirty Side, and the West Coast is Shaky Side.
Shaky Side.
So, in other words, it's East Coast Productions. It sounds
Right.
really sleazy. Dirty Side.
Dirty
Productions.
Side. And look,
Dirty-
it was only $2.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we didn't make any money. I've never made any money on music. I've been playing music for over 50 years. I've made a couple of dollars on it, but I've never been a professional. I never earned my money.
Right. You did it because you loved doing it.
Yeah, and that was one thing. I have an unusual style, I think, and it was because I've never played any music that I didn't want to play.
You just play music that you like.
I liked. I wanted to play the music. That's when I played it. I didn't play music to entertain people.
Yeah.
At the bars, we have to play covers. The covers I chose for my own.
Yeah, because you like
My
them.
own. I like them.
And yet, you know what? You lucked out because it was very entertaining for the audience.
Oh, so sometimes.
Oh, I always
Sometimes
thought
it's
it
harder.
should be,
It's
you
much
know.
harder. It's much. The easiest is to play covers that people know, and then people don't have to think. They just
What is
drink
he
and
playing?
flirt. Drink and flirt,
Drink and flirt.
and then they don't have to bother with their mind.
With
Can
their
be they let their mind
minds.
atrophy.
Well, so this was in 1976.
76,
right?
yeah.
Come dressed in your favorite cowboy outfit.
Where's
now
the music?
this,
This is,
I love this. And
Jim Hands assembled this from various places.
that's so great. Crazy words, crazy tunes, sung by and played by Gene Turonis. And it looks like he even put some yodeling in there. I see like
Yeah, right.
yodelay. And this, I was amazed when I first saw this because the Runoff Cafe, 4th and Bloomfield.
That's right. That's where the coffee shop
That's
is
where
now.
Empire Coffee is.
Right,
That's so great.
There used to be.
I hope
There used to be
Abby's
so
watching.
many bars in this town.
Oh, I
More
bet,
bars than
right.
fire hydrants.
Is that right?
And I'm not kidding. And down on Hudson Street, it was bar to bar to bar, 4 blocks.
Really?
Nothing but bars. And then go to the second floor and come back, all different bars on the second
Oh,
floor. The first floor was different bars, and the second floor was bars.
So 2 bars in the same building?
Yes, and they're all different bars.
Really?
Now, I'm not sure if it was all that way, but very frequently. And it was
Really?
because when the ships come in, you'd have, 200 guys wanting to get blasted. And you need, 25 or 35 bars to do it. Tom Newman knew a man who owned a house across the street from him. His mother was a prostitute during the heyday of the Hoboken, the heyday of the Hoboken waterfront, and she owned 13 houses.
She owned 13 houses?
Oh, by the way, I just mentioned Tom Newman. He
Yes.
showed me how to do chords, some chords.
Oh, he taught you?
A little bit, yes, he did.
Oh, he did. I didn't
And he
know
also
that.
told me that plumbers make the most money. I distinctly remember that. And so I said, hey, I wasn't any particular thing at the time, but I was
Well,
becoming.
you were kind of a
I was
handyman, a
beca-
little
Oh yeah, I was
jack of
definitely
all
handy-
trades.
Definitely
Jack of
handyman.
all trades, right?
And so I didn't know what direction I was going to go.
And he kind of told you that plumbers make,
Make the most money, so that gave me a direction.
Good idea. And you had also mentioned to me about someone named, is it Benny, who had a clothing store?
Oh, the kids in the street called him Benny the Jew. He was a really sweet guy.
Right.
He had on First and Bloomfield. No. First and Willow. I lived at 125 Willow. He lived down the street. He had sold work clothes, and I went in there buying this and that. And he said, "Oh, what do you do?" And I said, "Oh, I do electric. I do plumbing. I do framing. I do sheetrock. I do tile. And he said, called it Specialize. He said, Specialize. And I think I'll listen to this guy.
This guy's
And
making sense.
So after that, I did nothing but tile and plumbing for the next several years. And until I got hooked up with John Cannell and Nancy Couturier, and I bought a house with no money.
Now, how did you do
Hey,
that?
why not?
Why not? But how does one do that, Gene? How does
They
one
had the
buy a
money.
house with? They
So
had
we
money.
became partners.
I see.
And I did sweat equity. I worked for 18 months, 6
Wow.
days a week, 10 hours a day,
That's a lot.
doing from the roof, heating systems, new kitchens, new basement floor,
Wow, a little bit
a new
everything.
sewer line to the street, resurfaced all of the walls.
Oh my
and
God.
I made all the doors work nice. And,
It's good when the doors work now.
yeah, it took us 18 months to do that.
But then eventually, did you wind up with the house?
Oh yeah, that's my house.
It's the
And
house
we were
you're living in.
partners. And after a real estate deal that went sour, we separated our ways. And then I bought the house from them, and now that was my house.
Wow.
And then,
So
Park
see,
Ave.
basically, you were doing all that work for your house.
Well, I did it. It just worked out. You know,
Worked
it just
out.
worked out. It was a lot of work. It almost broke Renee and I up.
Really?
Yeah, that was very hard on us. She had a child, and she supported us completely. So that was hard.
Good woman.
Yeah,
Yes.
good, tough.
Yep. So I remember there was also something else you told me, that at one point you were calling yourself a bootleg plumber.
Oh, that's what I was. I was a bootleg plumber. I did it I was no insurance and no license. And Sam of S&B Plumbing,
Okay.
until I think he's dead now, until he left the planet or went somewhere else. I don't know where you go after that. But when you can't see him anymore. When I could see him, he always gave me the heavy duty hatred. Because I was a bootleg plumber and he was a legit plumber and he paid insurance and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
So I could see why he would be bitter. But Hoboken, nobody called the cops. Nobody called the cops.
Nobody called
because
the
the cops are there for political reasons. They don't mess with what's going on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I was allowed to continue operating. So
In
then
that way.
I bought the house with John,
Right.
and I realized, oh my God, I can't do. I'd get sued and take my house. So I went and started working for plumbers. Gary Gale Gasworth III.
Oh, Gary the plumber.
He became after I left. I'm Gene the plumber. After I left, he became Gary the plumber. He stole my moniker.
He did.
Yes, he did. But what are you gonna do? I don't know. I stole it from Jimmy Rogers. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, he stole.
what the hell?
But you realized, hey, I bought a house now. I
Okay.
need to become legit.
Right.
Right?
I had to get insurance.
Got to get
And to get insurance, you
insurance.
need a license.
That's
so I
it.
worked there, and I worked in Hecht Plumbing in Irvington, and I worked in Metric Plumbing in Cedar Grove. Then I got my 5 years in, and I took my test.
Wow.
And I passed my test, and Renee said, you know, you deserve something. Because, I went on the wagon, and I really focused to get this here. And she said, you deserve a reward. So I said, okay. I went with my friend to Venezuela, to the island of Marguerite. And it was there I discovered the Sex Drive Band. It was
What?
in the
A band called the Sex
No.
Drive? No?
Carnival. They had
Oh,
Carnival
Carnival.
parades, and each parade had these bands, and there were like 4 bass drums, 4 medium-sized drums, and 4 snares in the front, all different handmade and all kinds of drums. But they were like 12 or 15 drummers, and 1 trombone player or saxophone player, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls in the front dancing. And it was just like, oh my God, look at this. It was really, and one after another. I call them sex drive bands. But I don't know. There must be another name for them.
I'm sure
But I'll
there's
tell you,
another
they're
name. but-
really something. You get
Well, that's good.
12 drummers. You get some rhythms going. With that 12 drummers.
Yes, I would think so. Wow, that sounds like fun. That was a nice little
Yes.
treat for yourself.
Yes,
right?
I was. And Renee had, I think, 2 kids at the time. And it was just
Oh,
hard.
at that time. Oh, okay.
It
Well,
was really
wait a minute.
hard
We
on
haven't
her.
gotten to
I'm
that
so
point
sorry.
yet.
It was hard on her.
Let's get back to you playing because
Oh, okay.
look at here, 1979, right? You wound up playing at Maxwell's.
Oh, 79. Okay.
Yeah, and that had to be in the early days of when.
79. Most of 79, I was in Nashville.
So
must have
this
been
was
just
maybe when you
before
came
I
back.
left. Before
But I
left.
like the graphic. Who did the graphic?
That's all Jim Hans.
Oh.
Jim Hans did that. He was my guy. Yeah, he did all that sort of stuff for me.
Right, like the.
Yeah.
Oops. Wait. I have to show it. The Time Machine. This whole issue is devoted to you, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love this. I was going through this the other day, and I just
So
loved everything.
Jim wrote it too. Wrote all the.
He wrote all the stuff
all
in
the
here?
copy. Yeah, and he did all the ads.
He did all the ads too.
Yeah.
Well, it was really fun
I
seeing
think
all that.
anybody who's interested, come to the museum. There has to be a whole. There's like probably I don't know how
must
many
have a bunch, right?
How many versions he had? Must have been 2 or 3 years worth of.
Of
once a
Time
month.
Machine?
Yeah, Time Machines. Yeah.
But what I especially, what's that, Rand?
It's number 12.
This one I'm holding is number 12, and it was
Yeah.
only 35 cents. But what I really loved about this was I found this ad for the Magic Fountain. And in the ad, it mentions a photography show by a photographer who happens to have a show here at the museum
year was this?
right now. This, I don't know
On
what
the
year.
inside.
It would be on the inside?
Yeah, first page.
Where? Oh, 1977.
Okay.
Okay, so here we have at the Magic Fountain in 1977, a photo show presenting Puerto Rican men by photographer Ben Fernandez, who happens to have a show right now
Wow,
in the main gallery of the museum.
he's got some staying power.
He does.
You know, he
Right?
continues
Isn't
to
that
click.
cool? Right. Well, and apparently so do you.
Hey,
And I think, what I found in here too was so interesting is that he has a whole list of crazy words, crazy tunes by Gene Turonis. So why don't you pick maybe one of these? I would actually love to see you play number 31, I Was a Plumber.
oh, okay. I was a plumber and your drain was stuck. If I had $1 million, I wouldn't have had such good luck. So I got out my plunger and I made it suck. When you opened my valves, I knew you were the gal who could really pull out my stopper. And above that clogged drain, it ran through my brain. Our love would last long as copper. I was a plumber and your drain was stuck. If I had $1 million, I wouldn't have had such good luck. So I got out my plunger and I made it suck. You.
That was great. I love that. Did you typically write songs that had something to do with your life or
Oh, all the songs.
all of them?
Yes. Michael Hurley. I tried to write like Michael Hurley. He was my hero. Along with Peter Stansfield, along with Jimmy Rogers,
Right?
Hank Williams, and can I do a song called?
Oh, you want to do another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, six pack and you,
Yes.
and my guitar too. I'm not singing the blues. I sing a love song to you. A six pack or two to help me get through the end of this day. I spend my night with you. I've had a hard day and I just want to feel good. Cold beer run down my throat. And singing a love song to you. Honey, that's all she wrote. Well, a six-pack and you. Yes, and my guitar too. Oh, honey, I'm not singing the blues. I sing a love song to you. I'm not singing the blues, honey. I sing a love song to you.
Oh, I love that. That's always been one of my favorites of yours. I
Renee
remember.
says that I wrote it
Did
about
she
her.
like that?
I don't think I did. Maybe I did.
What? Yes, you did. I remember, one of.
I mean, we've been together a long time.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have.
Yeah, we
But I remember that being one of the first
we got
songs I
married
heard
in
you do.
81, I think.
You did get married
Yeah.
in '81, but we're still in the '70s.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're still in the '70s. Oh, look, Steve Zane, my favorite. Good to see you. Oh,
Hey, cool.
nice to see
Hello,
you,
Steve.
Steve. Thank you so much for checking in. Oh, look at this. So I'm going to say this is a generic poster.
This photo was taken in, where about? It was in Mississippi, in Luke Wallen's house. I was visiting him at the time. I was down at the Jimmy Rogers Memorial Festival, maybe 75, 74, something like that, in Tupelo, Mississippi. Was it Tupelo? I don't know what city it was. But Luke lived nearby, and I visited him, and
Right.
his photographer friend took that photo of
Oh,
me.
it's a great picture.
Yeah, it is a nice photo.
Yeah, it's a really nice picture.
And Jimmy Rogers Memorial Festival isn't anymore, but they had it for like 4 or 5 years. I went there twice.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That last song kind of had a sort of a,
Well, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
Jimmy Rogers was my hero.
yes, yes. I could hear it in the music.
Oh, this was I did this. This is 1979. The man who did this, Jim Hands, put the piping around the outside and the letters
Oh,
on the
that's
bottom.
great.
But the drawing in the middle. Look at that. The steam going onto
Oh
the hat.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
that's so funny. And there's a hand. Is that a hand at the top?
The hand is turning the spout.
Turning the spout.
So Lore owned a house in Nashville, and
The
he
guy
had
who
a-
did the drawing.
Yeah, the guy who did this drawing, and he had a block drain, and it was a rough one, man. It was like, I don't know, 30 or 40 feet long of 2-inch pipe under the crawl space, in the crawl space, that was all blocked.
Oh,
It was
wow.
a hell of a job. I did it and got it flowing again, and then he did this drawing for me because he didn't have any money. But anyhow, I've used it a lot. It was
A
certainly
lot of
worth it.
barter going on in those days.
I've done a
right?
lot of barter in my life. Yeah,
Yeah.
like for albums, I've bartered plumbing at the studios with Rob Grenoble. I did that, and lots of bartering.
Yeah, bartering.
I just
is
finished a
good, though.
Christmas album that I
Bartering-
bartered with Ben Butler, who's a high-level guitar player. He's my next-door neighbor. I did plumbing for him, and instead of getting money, he recorded with me. So that was barter
A
again.
lovely bar. And look, Church Square Park, Wednesday evening concert series. Hello from all your friends at Church Square Park.
Oh, well, thank you.
I love that.
Thank you very
I
much.
love that. And that's actually what's behind us is the
Oh,
current, the poster.
the poster of,
right from the current series.
Last night we
and
had
you,
Underground. Where is it?
Right, Undercover.
Undercover right
Right.
there.
Next week is Benny Harrison.
And next week is Benny
and you
Harrison.
are wrapped in the banner.
Well, that's a really funny story. Because what happened? If you down here somewhere, behind here is the one of the sponsors was not the public library. It was the Friends of the Public Library, and we did an improper naming, and that the one that I'm wearing around me
Is the old one.
is the one we just took down to put up the correct one. It cost us $100 extra for that mistake because we had to get new stuff because they're a sponsor. You can't diss a sponsor. You have to be
got
very
it.
as respectful as
That's
possible.
correct.
So we did that. And,
Oh, so I see you're wearing the bad one. And the new one is up on. That's why you're wearing
Eddie
it.
Pogge said, "Put this around you," and I did. And he took the photo.
I love it.
It's like almost a religious kind of feeling thing. You know what I mean? I know when I bought the fear of this Santos.
Oh, who is this
Who's that
dapper
bozo,
guy? Oh man, look at that. That's awesome, Gene. What are you with the hat and the suit? When was this?
Ginny Parrott took this in front of City Hall.
Oh, you know, I noticed her name in here too as Ginny Ralston.
Ginny Ralston, yes.
Right. So
yeah,
before
she was before. She was Ginny
she married
Ralston.
John
She did this.
Parrott,
Yeah, she's been
right?
a photographer for a long time.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, she did this.
It's a good picture. I love
Yeah,
it.
I was.
And this was by City Hall.
Somewhere near City Hall. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, here I have in the 70s, while you were single,
Yes.
you would meet with your musician friends nightly.
Oh, this is the early
And
70s.
Yeah, it's early 70s. Sit around a kitchen table. And
that's what we did.
What was
every
going on
night.
there? Every night.
Every night we would play, write songs, come and sing the new songs, and just play. Just play and drink beer.
Drink beer.
And smoke pot.
Oh, and so
Yeah.
Okay. And I have listed here some of those who were participating in that.
Oh, yeah, there's loads of people.
Gene, John Parrott.
John Parrott, oh, John was there.
Luke
John
Faust, Warren Gardner.
Yep, that's right. Warren Gardner was
From the Insect Trust.
Yeah.
Right. And those must have been fun.
Warren Gardner was, whenever he was in town, he was a leader of that because he really flowered with the music. He loved music more than anything. Yeah.
And you know what I want to hear about is the parties that took place at Jim and Beverly Hines.
Oh my God! Now
I want to hear about those parties.
that was really something. I got introduced to Jim. He had the Hoboken calendar shop of current events down on First Street.
Oh, he was on First as well.
On First, near the corner of Hudson.
Okay.
He was between Hudson and the alley.
Oh,
On
Hudson
the
and
north,
Court Street.
Yeah, on the north side.
Okay.
And he had a back room and all that. And,
Right.
and he had antiques and records, anything that was
Anything.
collectibles.
Collectibles.
He was way ahead of his time.
Right.
Very artistic guy, way ahead of his time.
And we know.
Yeah, look at it. He did his own magazine, for crying out loud.
Right.
Wrote the articles, did all the layout, worked continuously
It's so
on it.
great. It's so great. But so a lot of parties went on there.
Oh my gosh. There was a time.
Or was it
when-
there or when they bought the place? Or they
Oh no, it
got-
wasn't at the store. It was at their house.
Oh, and the
which
house
was
was on Washington.
Washington, between First and Second, on the west side of the street. It had a gigantic bay window in the front. Almost the front of the whole building was window.
Wow.
And on the second floor, and then there was a roof in the back, which went over an extension from the first floor, which we had parties there. It was big, huge roof. You know, they had a baby pool filled up. You could soak your feet.
Dip your
The kids
feet.
would play in there. You know, that was
Wow.
really something. Anytime you went over, you have a six-pack. You go over to their house anytime.
Anytime, right?
The
That's what you
flames
had
of the
said.
party would go up. It was like the pilot was on. You know what I mean? You walk in,
Right.
it's like turning the the party's over. Hey, how you doing? You know, what's going on? Let's go play some music.
Yeah, it looks like what you had said to me is that they had this wooden bar in the
Oh, there was a
apartment.
bar in the. They had
the
a bar
apartment.
from a bar,
And it was
the physical
endless
bar from a
parties
business
for 5
bar.
years. Endless parties for 5
5
years.
Anytime you went over,
Just
bring a six-pack, party started.
instant party.
Yep.
I love that.
And then they.
Must have been fun times.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Nothing but.
Now, what happened? You told me one time there was a party on the roof.
Oh, that was a 4th of July party.
Oh,
It wasn't on that roof. It was on
different roof.
Bill Kadish and Mark Kennedy, who's recently deceased. Mark Kennedy had an apartment on the corner of, right above the barber shop, on the corner of 3rd and Park.
Okay.
It's a barber shop now. It used to be an
yes.
Italian men's club.
Oh,
I
really?
lived in that neighborhood for a long, long, long time. And the Italian guys in the club never saw me. They never even saw me because I wasn't a woman and I wasn't Italian. I was like invisible. They were pretending they were in Italy. Really, I'm not kidding. There was really, and until I got a garage around the corner where they used to like to double park in front of my garage, then they'd be, my paisan, you know.
Now they knew you.
But it wasn't. They were in a a vision. They're in Italy. And if you're not in Italy, they don't see you. You know?
See you, right.
It was like a mental place they went.
Right. But I guess you had told me that, I guess one of the places that you lived in on that block was actually where our friends Jody and Paul were
Oh, that was
living.
on Park Avenue, around the corner.
Oh,
They just
around the
moved. Paul
corner.
just moved to
Yes.
up to
The Doric.
Union City or Weehawken. I'm not sure where it is, or Jersey City. It's right in this. Where the
I know
three
it's
come
in the
together.
Doric, I just don't know if the Doric is. I think
The Doric
it's-
should never
I think
have
it's
been
Union
built.
City, the Doric.
Because
is Union
it
City.
stole the New York view from the park.
Yes.
It was a beautiful park.
Right.
And they had a great view, and then somebody came along and bloop, stole the view.
They stole the view. But
Hey, let's go on from where we are.
yes,
Forget about the past.
absolutely. Look.
Hey,
I
who's
love
that bozo?
this. Who is that guy?
I don't know. Look at
And
that
there
old
you
guitar.
are.
It's a
You recognize
made,
the
yeah,
guitar?
made in Hoboken Guild.
Oh,
Made in-
that's
yeah,
a
I still
Guild
have it.
guitar.
That's a Guild, yes.
And you still have it. Nice. Oh, that's really awesome. And Guild, was that over at Newman Leather?
That's
Building?
where it was. They were for a while. They were made in Newman leather. That's right.
Wow,
They made the guitars.
that's pretty cool.
Tom Newman went as
Oh.
as a young fellow.
Frank Hanavan.
Frank Hanavan. Hello there.
Letting us
Hey,
know. The Doric is in Union City.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Frank's a very good painter. He's a real
Yes.
professional guy.
Yes. But this looks like, I remember this event actually. This was a
Oh.
fundraiser for the Hoboken Historical Museum. And
Hoboken
it was
Historical
called
Museum.
Galaxy of Talent.
Oh. Well, what was I doing there? Oh, wait, what am I saying? Yes, of course, I was playing.
Of course, you were playing. You were playing. But here, I had read a very sweet story in this. Oh, wait, you're getting married. Let's talk about that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, tell me about this, because I remember we were talking a lot about this when you got married to Renee. Everybody, that's Renee.
We had, I was playing, this is in the middle of from 80 to 85, we played in Court Street, Jack Talbot's Court Street. And we had our wedding, we got married at Church of the Holy Innocents. Church of the Holy Innocents.
Right.
We may have been the only, it may have been the only function that ever happened there in modern times, because, if you call that modern times, because it was never used before, and it hasn't been
So
used
even
since.
back then, it wasn't used.
No, it's not used. And
Really?
Reverend Curtis
Yeah, Jeff Curtis.
went to somewhere and got antique vestments, and wore antique vestments, and opened up the church to us, and we had our wedding there, and it was a very wonderful affair.
Oh, it must have been.
And then we had our party.
And then you had this party.
at Court Street at Jack's,
Uh-huh.
and it was 12 hours. We had our party from 2 in the afternoon until 2 in the morning. We really had a
Gee,
time.
you knew how to have fun. I'll
At
tell
11
you.
o'clock, we found another case of champagne, and of course we broke it out.
And the party continued.
It continued until 2. And
Now, who
usually men carry their bride over the threshold. In our case, Renee carried my guitars and my friends carried me over the threshold that night, unfortunately. But
a little too much champagne.
But we have been married a long time.
You have
Yes, we
been.
have.
This was what, 1981?
1981. We've been married 15,695 days as of August 9th.
That's right. I was going to ask you, how
15,000.
long had you been together? And you were going to
695
say,
days. That's a lot of mornings.
that's a lot of days.
One hell of a lot of good night, honey. Kiss good night. It's a lot of kisses.
It's a lot of kisses.
Yeah. Even though we had sort of a rocky start on the wedding night.
And so a six-pack in you.
Hey,
is
that's our
that
first
written?
child. That's Eric.
That's Eugene,
That's Eugene. Yes,
right?
yes, yeah.
Who's now a fireman and a plumber.
That's correct. He's got my business, and he's
He's
a
kind
fireman.
of taken over there.
Yep.
But now a six-pack in you, was that written about Renee?
She thinks so, but I'm not sure. I guess it was. But I don't know. I'm not sure.
Now-
I do have a song written about Renee, which I'm going to sing tonight.
Yeah, we should. You should do that. But so this
This is my
your
youngest
other
son, Eric, when he was about 8 or 9, something like that.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, nice. And this is and
this is Rio,
I love this Rio.
who used to be called Emily, and
Right.
she That's James McMillan
Millen?
back playing bass.
Yeah, playing
and this is
bass.
one of the first times she sang with us.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So she must have been, what, 12, 11?
Yeah,
12?
right. Something like that.
And I'm going to say, where do you think this is?
Oh, this is
River City Fair? Or?
No, this is up
Where is this?
at the 10th Street Park. Elysian Park.
Oh, this is, oh, right.
Elysian
This is the little building there, right?
Yeah,
Now I see that.
Right.
And so that's Maxwell.
And when we got home that night,
Wow.
Rio,
Rio.
then Emily, but Rio said to me, hey, Dad, you think we can change our style? She was like bumping me off the stage. You know what I mean? Our style, boom. You know?
Right. This is my band now, Dad.
Exactly. That's what it seemed like. On the far left there,
adorable.
that picture is Mark Whitecage, who is
yes.
a wonderful and a very advanced jazz saxophone
Really
player.
quite the band. I mean, between
And,
Mark Whitecage, Perry Robinson.
And look at this, and,
my
and I think
goodness.
he's one of the best bass players in
Oh,
the world.
James
James
McMillan,
McMillan is
yes.
just wonderful.
Right? Of
Yeah.
Water Music Recorders.
Yeah.
And he was in, what was the name of the band? Cries.
Cries, yeah.
Yep. Oh, those were great. Oh, this
This is homeboy Steve Antonakis
Yes.
is not with us. That's David.
I remember David.
David in the background playing tuba.
Yes, he
wonderful,
played tuba.
wonderful tuba player.
Yes. And then Adam.
Adam Crass.
Right.
He's a great fiddle player, and I love his singing. And
And Terry Webb.
Terry Wetmore, who's passed, and Mark,
Yes.
who's passed.
Right.
And the guy in the bozo in the middle is trying to pay everybody.
Trying
But if you
to pay
notice,
everybody.
they told me to put my hand over the amount because they didn't want it photographed, so that anybody would know how little they were getting paid. Although they all wanted to get paid. You know.
I think this was,
That was
this was at
that was
one of their art music festivals.
Right. This
Right?
was the time
Yeah.
we had this was the best sound system I'd ever played with. That we had a sound man just for the monitors.
That's right.
A sound man did
right.
nothing but what do you want to hear?
Hey,
that was really something. The day before,
We did it right, Gene. We did it right.
The day before, I was at Adams, one of Adams' gigs that he got for us out in Rutherford.
Oh,
It
nice.
was the worst sound system I had ever been at. So from one day to the other, it went from the absolute, seriously, the worst, where the speakers were in back and it fed back all night. And it was just terrible.
Oh, that's terrible.
All afternoon. It was the afternoon gig.
Right.
But the worst to the best.
That's good to know.
That was something. Oh, look what this
Oh,
is.
look it's Abby.
Abby, yeah.
And I just love that we included this because you played at the cafe that then became Empire Coffee.
Oh, that's
which
right.
Abby owns.
And she
right?
played the other night for Anne Marie's
Yes,
thing.
we had a fundraiser for Anne Marie Schreiber at
Yeah.
Finnegan's.
Finnegan's,
Yes,
yeah.
and you played and Abby played.
Yeah.
So that was really a great event. But let's see. Oh,
Oh, that's the cover of
this is the cover of the CD that you
Jean
did.
Paul. What's his name? Jean Paul.
This came out on Bar None Records.
The photographer. Jean Paul.
Oh, Jean Paul Picard.
Picard, yes.
Oh, he took
did
the
that photo.
picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, but it was so great that was
And-
put out by Bar None.
Yeah, and Liz Weiss worked very hard on it. Could we go back to that picture?
I love that.
Right
Did
at
she-
my
did she-
elbow,
did
the
she
woman
put
at my
all
elbow
those-
is my Aunt Bernadine,
Oh,
who
these were all
died at
pictures.
almost 100 years of age
Wow.
a few years ago. But it was a picture from the 20s
Wow.
of my aunt, and the rest are from,
Is that her? What she's got a tie on, a men's tie?
that's
Who's that?
Jill's grandmother, not Jill. That is Liz Weiss's grandmother.
Really?
And this is all people. We
cool.
took these pictures from all over the place. To
Yeah, and then she kind of pieced them
put,
together.
yeah, she pieced them all together. Yeah.
Oh,
She did a wonderful
she
job.
did a
Yeah,
wonderful
she's great.
job. It's really
she's
great.
very skilled,
Yeah,
very skilled.
yeah, that's fabulous.
as is her husband.
Yes, Artie is. He's really a talented musician.
Yeah.
But so that came out on Bar None Records. When was
Yes.
that? Do you remember the year? It's not that long ago.
At least 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah. I have another one coming out on Bar None now. It's my new Christmas album.
Right.
Oh, and
Do you want to play something from it?
we're getting a little short on time here.
Oh, are we? Oh, okay.
I want to play. This is something.
Then you should play some songs,
Yeah, I want
because I know you wanted to play some.
to. Yeah, well, this is the Bourgeoisie. Is
Yes.
from a
I know you wanted to play that. Now,
This is a song that I wrote that Mark and Perry played, and this is my band from Court Street.
Perry Robinson
Perry Robinson.
and Mark Whitecage, right?
Yep.
So this.
You tell me about the volume.
You better watch out, you better not move. If you live in Hoboken, you're close to the tubes. The bourgeoisie are coming to town. They know where you're living, and they want your house. And they will try to exterminate you just like a roach or a mouse. You better watch out, you better not move. You live in Hoboken, you're close to the tubes. The bourgeoisie are coming to town. And raise the rent 300%. Now they're looking for a big fat lip. Oh, we better watch out, we better not move. We live in Hoboken, you're close to the tubes. The bourgeoisie are coming to town. Made me cry and wince. And now so soon a condo, well that's a damn coincidence. Oh, you better watch out, you better not move. You live in Hoboken, you're close to the tubes. The bourgeoisie are coming to town. Watch out, here they come! You're close to the tubes. The bourgeoisie are coming to town. The bourgeoisie are coming to town.
I remember when I first started seeing you at Court Street, that was one of those songs that we always were like, oh, we love that.
I worked for the bourgeoisie. I became the bourgeoisie.
You became the bourgeoisie.
Oh boy, I'll tell you.
What goes around comes around, right?
Yeah, you can't do it. You get infected if you go
Right.
too close to it.
That's right. Ed Fogarty clapping his hands.
Hey.
Yeah, hey Ed. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay.
But I do remember that, like I was born here, but I was only here for a short while, and my parents, they moved to the suburbs. My dad grew up here, but I remember that sort of what brought me back here were friends of mine. Debbie Garitano, who
Oh, okay.
became Debbie Naha, was one of them. And she said, gotta come to Hoboken because there's this plumber, Eugene, and he
Is that right?
Yeah, and she said he plays at Court Street, and we go there on Friday nights and we dance.
Oh,
and she
wow.
says you should come and hear Gene, and hence that was kind of why I came back, because I had, obviously I had friends in the area.
Wow, that's
but
interesting.
she said, you got to come and see Gene play at Court Street. So, but that was one of the hits. We would always be like, oh, is Gene going to do the bourgeoisie?
The bourgeoisie. Yeah.
And also, and I remember.
Yeah, we were very aware of the fires very much. It was a very horrible thing. The burnings out, people dying.
Yes.
Because
That's
of
right.
Angry people, because someone was jilted, or a landlord.
Well, or greedy.
Landlord would
Yeah.
actually burn people out.
Yes. And that was a recent exhibit at the museum.
Yeah,
here,
right, there was,
right,
yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
And LT,
Who's LT?
I don't know, but they're clapping. So they must be enjoying.
Okay.
But this was another. Oh, and
Ah,
look, it's you and
Renee.
Renee.
That's my wife, Renee.
Yes. And did you go? You went to Paris?
Yes, we went to Paris with John Amodio and his wife, and we had a really grand time. I played in
Did you play in Paris?
Yeah, I played to
Oh, you
4 or 5
did?
places. Yeah.
Oh.
I never got paid. It just played,
Right. Just because you.
open mics and all that.
Well, I have to say one of the
Went over
reasons
very well.
one of the reasons that you didn't get paid, like working at City Hall,
Ah!
and we would send me.
Don't let Renee know this.
It was so hard to get the invoice from you, and then I would make up the purchase order, Gene, and like you never signed them, and I would get called into the finance department. And they'd say, Gerald, we're trying to clean up like from 2 years ago, and there's this purchase order. Gene Turonis has still not sent in his purchase order from 2 years ago. And I'm saying, I guess Gene doesn't want to get paid. I don't know what to do. I keep calling. And eventually you would send,
yeah, I was
Renee,
right.
eventually he would send in the purchase order. So I just want you to know, it just would take a little while. But, you
Yeah,
know,
I was
eventually
busy. I was
he got
running a
paid.
plumbing company and
That's right.
family and
That's
trying
right.
to,
You have
trying to
3
do
kids.
music.
Yeah.
And I was
Hence,
busy.
Look, I've got,
Busy.
and tell us a little bit about this one.
Royal Flush.
Yeah.
This is with James McMillan on bass, I think. This one is.
Oh, was he on that one?
Yeah, and Terry Wetmore on drums.
Okay.
David Cohen on the piano. Mark on.
That's a nice one. That's got a lot of hits. Gene, in my mind, it's the Gene
It's called
Turonis
Royal
hits.
Flush.
Yes. Oh,
I was going to have this on Spotify pretty soon. I don't think it's on Spotify.
I think
this
you
one
should
is on
put it-
Spotify.
this one's on Spotify.
It's called All the Pretty Girls.
All the Pretty Girls,
And we have
right.
a
And you-
new one coming out. It's
Right.
going to be on Spotify and it's going to be on everywhere. It's
And are
coming
you
out
going
on
to do
Barnum
are you going to
Records.
do a song from that? I know it would be Christmas, but
Oh, you know,
there is a Christmas song that you do every year at holiday banding.
Yeah.
That I would love if you would play that. I know it's not Christmas time, but you know, it's one of those songs that whenever we do holiday banding in December, you can always count on Gene to.
Let me see now. Where the hell is it?
What are you looking for? Are you recording? What are you
I
doing?
have a recording of it.
But you're not going to play it?
The recording is better, I think. Maybe, I don't
No, I
know.
want you to play live. That's why you brought the guitar.
Okay.
Right? It'll put everybody in the mood.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me all where the love light gleams. Oh, I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. Christmas Eve will find me, oh, with a love light gleam. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams, if only in my dreams, if only in my dreams. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey, lovely. It was worth it to hear you do that live with the whistling.
Oh.
Because no one whistles like Eugene.
Oh, how nice
I love
of
when
you.
you whistle.
Thank you.
But I think we're out of time, but we should see what we
Oh my
can
God.
say before we go. Oh, wait, we have to talk about
Just a
that.
few more.
Oh,
This
okay.
is our
Yes.
daughter's Rio and her husband Nanda in South India a year ago. It was maybe a year ago today or yesterday, something like that.
Oh,
Their
wow.
their wedding. They had a wedding there. We were all there.
And you were there for like a month.
No, we were there for 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
It's a long
It
time.
was really
Must've been-
something else.
Yeah, bet.
South India
Uh-huh.
is something else. The cows wander around
On the street?
on the street, wild dogs,
Wow.
poverty right next to middle class.
Okay.
Background vocals by Jerry. It's really something, India is. And
That must have been exciting.
it was exciting.
Yeah.
It was a little difficult, and it was very wonderful. And the character of the Indian people is very amazing, very industrious, very generous. They look very serious, but actually they're very quick to smile and laugh. So it was a very rewarding experience going there.
And the actual, like, the whole, doesn't the wedding part of it go on for several days? It's
It
like
was a
15
6-day wedding down from a
6 day.
12-day wedding.
Oh, we're supposed to be
It
12
was
days.
800 invitees down from 1,600 invitees. And all of the, or every invitation had to be delivered by hand.
What?
Yes. And
Wow.
our Nanda's father broke his leg delivering the invitations, broke his hip, slipped in the rain, and
God.
had to have his hip replaced 2 days before 4 days or something like that, before the wedding.
Oh, my God.
It was really something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really something.
Yeah. South India, it's very interesting.
Wow.
It's very religious. When you go somewhere, let's go somewhere this weekend. Okay, what temple? That's where you go.
That's
You
where
go to
you
temples.
go to
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we're going to go to this temple.
Wow.
No, we're going to this one and this one. You know.
That one. Wow.
Temples are really something. There's no drinking,
Oh.
no tobacco, no pot. We had the wedding. The only was one person that was drunk, and he sort of latched onto me. He was the Nanda's parents' cook.
And Remy's in the background laughing.
And he latched onto me. He wouldn't, everywhere I went, he was like right there with me.
Following.
Hey, anyhow.
Now, where did he get the alcohol from? If there
Oh,
was-
no, it's not illegal. It's not
Oh,
illegal.
oh, it's not
just
illegal.
no
Was-
one uses it.
Nobody
No one
uses
smokes.
it. Was
No one
there-
drinks. No one uses pot,
Wow.
as far as I know.
Was it,
you know.
as far as you know. Was
But,
there alcohol at the wedding?
No.
No.
No alcohol.
All right. Did you bring a flask?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. You were respectful.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that. This is great. I don't. Is there any more pictures, Rand? That's the last picture.
one.
Oh, okay.
I love that. But so I guess it's been a pleasure. Oh wait, LT. We still
Uncle
don't know
Gene, Lynn and I are learning things that we never knew about the life and times of Gene the Singing Plumber. Music brings me back. Let me close with a.
Oh, are you going to close with a
with a
song? But I
song.
wanted to
Okay.
say that it has been a pleasure.
Oh.
This has been so pleasurable.
Cool. Me
I've
too.
so
Right.
enjoyed this.
I wanna
And I
do
have
this-
learned so much about you and about Hoboken
This
and
is
about
for,
the music
I know it's going to be
scene.
cut off. I know there's not enough time, but I'm going
No.
to start with this.
I think you can play it and then Randall's going
And
to,
I'll do the credits.
he'll do the credits. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
La 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 la. This is for Renee. Yesterday, I was a drifter, tumbling day to day. Nobody ever called me mister, but I sang la 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 all day. I sing la 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 all day. I sing my la 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 all day. Yesterday, I was a drifter, tumbling from day to day. Now today, I can't resist her. I sing la 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 all day. I sing la 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 la. I sing la 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 la. I sing la 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 la. I sing la 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 la. Hoo-wah.
All right, well, that was Hoboken Talks. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Gene. Stay tuned. We've got more Hoboken Talks coming up. We'll be announcing our next guests. I'm Rand Hoppy. I'm the collections manager, archivist, and one-man AV squad here at the Hoboken Historical Museum. We'd like to thank the New Jersey Historical Commission for their ongoing support. They provide us with a lot of funds. This is your tax dollars at work, folks, here in New Jersey. We really appreciate it. The New Jersey Council for Humanities has provided us with a grant. I'd like to thank the Shipyard Circle, our major donors here at the museum. They've all been very generous and helpful to us. We love all our volunteers, all our donors, all our guests. So please come on by. Thank you so much for your support. We'd like to thank Iron State. They provide us with our space here. We thank them every day because we wouldn't be in this space without them. They have been wonderful all these years. We have our Benedict J. Fernandez photojournalist exhibit happening downstairs in the main gallery. Please come by, it's fantastic. We have upstairs in the upper gallery, we have Bob Delavante on the steps of St. Anne's, just a great show. Also, a new show coming up soon. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Do that social media thing with our fantastic Facebook and YouTube channels. We pay more attention to our YouTube channel. Thank you. And that's it from the Hoboken Historical Museum at 1301 Hudson Street. It's been a pleasure. Signing off.